Hey guys, it's just Kate here from Secret Bloggers Business, and welcome to this week's SBB Live, where I'm coming to you from the finally a little bit sunny but still not that warm Melbourne. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I think is really important for people to take a little bit of time to think about and to know this answer for yourself. And that is, are you a blogger or are you a business owner? So do you have a blog or do you have a business? And while I know a lot of people probably think it's pretty straightforward, they probably think that, well, it's, if you're making money or you want to make money, then it's a business, right? And in a business isn't a blog and vice versa. But actually, these days, things have changed so much from back in the good old days of blogging. And I think that so many people coming into blogging now are coming into it with a really different mindset, and that is that business mindset. And a lot of business owners who will call themselves, may have a blog, but they'll call themselves a business. And then there's a lot of bloggers out there who might think that they have a business, but they totally have a blog. And there's a really big difference between the two. And there's a really big difference around the kind of stuff you want to focus on, the kind of activities that are going to help you grow. So it's really good to get clear around what is it that you have, and also what is it that you actually want, because what you might have set up right now might not actually be what you want, might not actually be the path that you want to go down. And if that's the case, then now there's never been a better time than right now to make that pivot and make sure that you have the right model, that you're pursuing the model that is going to make you happy and give you what you want. So if you guys are jumping on with me live, make sure you come and say hi in the comments. I love to see who's on here with me. But while you guys are doing that, and I know everyone likes to be a little bit shy, no one likes to be the first one to say hello, so I call you all chicken, the ones who are watching right now and not saying hi, but that's totally fine. So are you a blog or are you a business? How do you know, right? Well, there's a couple of things that really make the two quite different. So first of all, when you came up with the idea for your blog, hey Beth, gold star for you for being the brave one to say hello first. Awesome. Thank you for joining me. So first things first, when you were thinking about this idea that you had to do something online, did you have a clear market in mind, a clear niche or topic or area of expertise that you really wanted to go in and share? And did you have a clear way that you wanted to help them? Like, was your thought something along the lines of, hey, I really love this thing, I'd love to help other people with it, or I'd love to share that with other people, or I'd love to turn that into something that's going to benefit other people? If that was your thought, then you have a business. Congrats. If your thought was more, hey, blogging sounds cool, or I want to do something creative, or I think I'm pretty good at this thing, maybe I'll write about it, see what happens, then you have a blog. So another thing to look at is, how do you treat, now that you have it up and running, or even while you're in the stages of getting it set up, how is it that you're actually treating this little online, this area of the internet that you have? So are you treating it like a business? Like, have you sat down and created even just a rough business plan? It can be on Post-it notes. It doesn't have to be, spreadsheets and pivot tables and all kinds of crazy stuff. It can be still something quite basic, but have you actually sat down and said, all right, so how am I going to make money out of this? What's that going to look like? What kind of tools do I need? What staff do I need? What upfront investment do I need? How long can I expect this to take? What marketing do I need to do? Is there any joint venture partners? If you've had any of these thoughts, or preferably more than one, then you have a business. Even if that business, the crux of it is blogging, if it is creating content and sharing that content out with the world. If the conversation has been more like, I just kind of want to see what happens, and I just want to kind of write about what I want to write about, and I've got lots of passions, so I want to have just do all of them and see what happens, and I'm sure that it'll just sort itself out. Then you have a blog. Now, some of you watching this might be getting a little offended here right about this point, because it kind of sounds like I'm like hating on blogs, and I'm not at all. It is my background after all. But the thing is, I have always treated my blogs like a business from day one. And there's definitely a difference between the people who are coming at this as, I don't want to say hobby blogger because it sounds bad, but people who are starting their online journey, online space, with coming from the point of, just feeling more of a personal need, a need that's like the need to be creative, the need to connect with other people, the need to, to have a hobby, to create a community, all of that stuff. And all that stuff is super rad, but it means that you are pure blogger, which is fab. And it means that the way that you're going to grow is going to be different. The kinds of traffic that you need is going to be different. And where you're going to get that from is going to be different. But also it means that actually your outcome may not be that it ends up being your full-time job or part-time job. If it's just something you're doing purely because you love it and it's going to like enrich your soul in some way and make your life better, that's great. And then you no longer need to then start trying to shoehorn some kind of monetization method into it just because you think you should or because you've seen other people do it. If you come at it from the point of, I'm super passionate about this thing and I would love to make a living doing something I'm really passionate about and helping people also who are also passionate about this thing, or helping people to get passionate or helping people to improve in some way, and I have the skills to help them do that, then that is a business. And again, you're going to go down a very different path. You don't probably need as much traffic as a pure blog does. What you really need is, you need customers over traffic. Whereas if you're going down the blogger route, bloggers tend to get way more caught up in getting big numbers. It becomes almost like a bit of a vanity metric. Again, not hating, but it's true. People get so obsessed with like, oh, I've got to get a certain number of visitors. I've got to get a certain number of this, and that means that my blog is good. Whereas if it's your business, you just need the right amount of customers to get you the amount of money that you need each month to pay your bills, pay yourself, and grow your business and have a little bit to spare. So it's very, very different. And so that's why I'm not hating on either, but I just really want people to be honest with themselves about what it is that they've created, what it is that they want to create, and about taking the steps to make sure that if right now you have a blog and you want it to be a business, then now is the time to kind of step back. And maybe, I'm going to be controversial here, maybe that blog you've created so far isn't going to be your business. Maybe it stays your blog and you do something else as your business, but you take those lessons that you've learned and you pour them into something new. Because quite often, again, so Secret Bloggers Business, this is actually my third online space. Drop Dead Gorgeous Daily was my first, and I have it, which I don't talk about very often because really I was just using it as a way to get a job in magazines. But I had back in 2003 a blog. It wasn't a blog, it was a website. There was like WordPress didn't even exist or that I knew of. I built it in Publisher. It was called D&M, which stood for Deep and Meaningful. So lame. Anyway, and I created that as an online magazine to showcase my writing skills, to get freelance work and to get my first job in publishing, which I did. But, I got some ad offers and stuff at the time. Anyway, random. But what I'm saying is that didn't become my main business, but I learned a lot from it. And then when I wanted to start up DDG, I already knew a bunch of stuff. I knew I had a bit more of an idea around how to, get up and running online. So I started that. And then when I started Secret Bloggers Business, I learned again, and each one pivoted and each one was different, and each one kind of became easier and easier and helped me to hone in more on what it was that I really wanted to do, what was really going to make me happy, what was going to really give me the lifestyle that I wanted. Because again, usually once you're getting started, it's that you don't know what you don't know until you realize you don't know it. And you don't realize that, particularly when people are starting out in any kind of business or even any kind of blog, if you're just trying to make a little bit of extra cash or you want it to be a full-time income, usually your focus at the start is going to be really on, okay, how do I get money through the door? I don't care how I do it. I just need to get money in. And that's totally cool because bills have to be paid. But you can't keep that mentality forever. You need to have a longer vision. You need to have sat down and taken the time to figure out, well, okay, what does success look like for me? What work do I want to be doing in this business? How much time do I want to be spending on it? Where do I want to be working? Do I want to have a team? Do I want to work by myself? Do I want to be able to work in a cafe? Do I want to be able to work part-time around your kids or family or other interests? Is this only going to be a side thing or a full-time thing? Like all of this stuff, if you need to sit down and figure this stuff out and make sure that, yes, if you are creating an online business and that's what you want, that you're actually heading towards it being the kind of business that you want as well, the kind that's going to give you the lifestyle that you want. So the reason I really wanted to have this chat is because I saw so many people in my groups. Like, we've got a free group. It's called Secret Bloggers Society. And so many people are asking in there going, oh, I've started doing this, and it's clear that their blog is a passion project or more of a creative outlet or something like that. And they start to get a bit of traffic and they go, okay, now how do I make money from it? And I just think that's the wrong question. That is just the wrong question. Because if you're doing it because you love it, just keep, and don't try and break it by adding money to it, by adding, sponsors and things like that. Take it from anyone who's ever gone down that path, that sponsorship and things like that. It's not fun. You can spend most of your time chasing down advertisers, following up on invoices, tracking stats, boosting posts if they're not working well, rather than doing the stuff that you love, the stuff that fills you up. So if you're wanting to create some way of making money online, making side income, and currently the blog that you have doesn't have a clear monetization method that's going to allow you to monetize pretty much straight away, rather than when you're getting tens of thousands of visitors every week, then maybe you have a blog and not a business. And maybe it's time to have that kind of tough conversation with yourself about what it is that you really want. And is this thing that you have right now going to give it to you? And if it's not going to easily give it to you, if you're going to have to kind of like shove stuff in and break things a bit and turn it into a bit of a Frankenstein's monster that's no longer actually serving the fun, soul-fueled creative side that it was previously, and is also probably not going to be super profitable because it's this bit of a mishmash and it doesn't have a clear, clear business direction, a clear focus, a clear market, a clear product or service, and that sort of thing, then it's probably not a business. And if you want it to be a business, then maybe it's time to step back and go, okay, how can I take what I've learned here? How can I take what I'm good at and turn that into a business? Because 9 times out of 10, it will be faster, it will be more profitable, it will be more enjoyable. If you are having this realization that perhaps you've started a blog and you really wanted to start a business, but you just didn't realize at the start that there was a difference, it is easier to go, all right, I'm going to allow this to just be a blog. Maybe I'll put it on the back burner for a little bit, or maybe I will try and automate it, or maybe I'll shut it down completely if it's not, and come back to it later. But I really want to have a business, and a business is different. And I'm going to go and take these learnings and take these skills and start creating a business instead, because trust me, it's going to be easier. It's going to take you further towards where you want to go, and you're going to have much more, like I said, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have much more success with it, and it's going to be more fun. It's going to be more enjoyable to create that business, which is supposed to be a business, rather than trying to jam a bit of business stuff into something that's just supposed to be a thing that you love doing, and that that allows you to play and to be creative and to change your mind whenever you want, which is kind of stuff you can't do as much with the business when you have your business hat on. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that no one's gotten too offended. Well, if you have gotten offended, then actually I don't apologize, because sometimes you got to have the hard talks. You've got to have these talks with yourself. You have to be honest about this stuff with yourself. And I think that people aren't out there saying this stuff enough. I think there's far too many people saying, oh, well, of course, if you want to shove a business into your blog, sure, you should be able to. And then they just ignore the fact that people are going to be working like really, really crazy hard for very little reward, when actually they could have, before they went too far down that path and broke this lovely creative outlet they had, they could have, pivoted and made some smarter business decisions. So up to you guys, blogger or business, what are you?